This is Dubious
2.0 revised
2.0.
It's the revival of all things.
I'm one of the hosts, Brandon, and we have
me, Juan Martinez. Anyone else gonna introduce themselves?
Well,
what the heck?
It shows Jose in the camera next to me.
And this
so
motherfucker right next to me, still loading in.
I'm thinking of a new name. I want to be a new name. Come back to me.
Well,
bitch ass Frankie.
Well, while we wait for Joey Kittens to figure out what the fuck he wants to be named now. Hi, my name's Richard. I am so excited to be back. I'm sure you guys remember us from our first project, Dude Be a Show, as Bradley said. And we have the cast. It's the return of the cast. We finally left the dungeon of our corporate overlords, and we stole someone. We kidnapped them on the way back, and that's Bradley, who is now our production specialist and amazing overall guy. So I'll toss it back to him. Is my angle proper? Like, am I going this way? Is it good?
No,
okay.
You're fine.
Is that pointing to you, Bradley? Or am I pointing something? Anyways, Bradley, you're my top left corner.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Anyways, so the reason why we started a podcast, that's the topic for today. A lot of times people just make their podcast just because they want to, or they have nothing else to do, or whatever. So it's just,
this is a combination of all of those things.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Brandon, you're legit describing me right now.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, it's something that we've been wanting to do, honestly. Well, you guys started the Dubious a couple years back, and honestly, I personally don't know the reasons why you guys started those that podcast. Which, for me, in my point of view, as I watched the videos and stuff, to me it was really good. It was funny, it was interesting, and all that stuff. And then out of nowhere, you guys just stopped. And as Juan told me or explained to me, it was just that at that time you guys didn't have the time, or everybody was doing their own thing because of school, work, and everything else. And it's understandable, because especially when you're in your 20s, you're super busy because of school and everything else that I just mentioned.
Definitely.
And yeah, and I couldn't do it, one, because I'm in the military, and I never know when I have time, and when I get home, I'm tired as hell. So if you guys want to dab into the reasons why you guys started the first Dubious, give it a background so people that are listening, know what happened.
So I can actually attest to that. So I actually had approached Juan many years ago. Not that long. It wasn't that long. It was like 3-4 years ago. I approached him. One day, and I was like, "Hey, bro, I feel like I'm getting stupider. Like, I feel like I'm losing my, my intelligence. I don't really research too many things anymore." Mm-hmm. No, that's not true. That's a lie. Sorry. No, that was the second time. So the first time that I had approached him, I had always told him that I wanted to make a podcast, and I wanted to be a gaming podcast. And for the longest time, I had trying to figure out, and I was banging my head against the wall, like, well, who would I ask? How would I do it? Whatever, this and that. And so eventually one day, Juan was like, "Hey, bro, well, does it have to be gaming? Like, are you sure it has to be gaming?" And so then he started bringing it to my attention. He's like, "Well, what if we get other people, and what if we do some other stuff?" And I was like, "Well, shit, bitch, you might have a point. Like, it doesn't have to be about gaming." Sure. And then when I really started thinking about it, that's when I got to what I had said before, where I felt like I was getting stupid, and I wanted to have something that would give me a reason to research and give me a reason to kind of like step out of my normal like circles from what I usually do. And so when he brought it up, he's like, "Hey, what if we just do a podcast, and like we don't know what it's going to be about, but we can talk about like current events and like pop culture or whatever." And so I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, that's tight." And so I don't remember asking Jose, but I think Juan was like, "Yo, I got my cousin, and he's down." And I was like, "Dang, his cousin? Who the fuck is his cousin? Some weird ass random? Man, fuck that guy." And so at first I was a little apprehensive, I'm not gonna lie. But then after a while, we kind of like talked about it, and then we did our first test pilot episode, and we brought some stuff to the table. Jose was unprepared, like he always is, which is fine. I love that aspect of Jose. It's him. It's what he brings to the podcast.
Bro, I stay prepared. What are you talking about?
He's still loading in.
He is. That's why he never comes prepared.
Yeah, name 2 times I wasn't prepared.
The last podcast we did with Jasmine, and then the first test podcast we did, and then every podcast we did in between that, because you said, I'll just look it up on the internet, and that's exactly what you did. But
yeah, you got cream pie pretty hard.
But anyways, so Juan brought it up, hey, I'll bring my cousin, and then we set up the time, we set up the date. Juan was like, hey, the Fontana library actually has like study rooms that we could use, and if we tell them it's for school stuff, like they won't trip on us. And so
which they later found out.
Oh my god, that was so
wrong.
Stuff. Yeah.
Within like 10 minutes, they knew. It was like, hey, that I call bullshit.
Yeah. So it was a trip because we showed up and we were like a little awkward at first, or maybe I was a little awkward. I can't speak for everyone else, but
there was like it took us like a few minutes to get into like our zone, so we could actually like have the conversation going back and forth and not
it being too
artificial. Just right in the beginning, just
well,
trying to get it started.
Like you guys had talked about the podcast, and then I knew I had heard of it, but that's before I really knew Richie. And then when we started hanging around, when they moved out into with Hugo and Brian stuff, we would always be there, and that's when we really like, hey, like I enjoy hanging around with these people. And then after that, that's why it was so much easier to start this podcast, because like it was legit. You could throw a microphone in that apartment. That's exactly what we 100%. Did anyways. Yeah, it's like so and nothing
listen
changed.
To some good conversations.
Yeah, it was like in fact, if you would have put the microphone inside of that apartment, we would have been millionaires by now from half the shit we said.
Yes, but then I definitely agree.
Oh, no.
We would have also possibly been canceled from some of the radical views.
Yes,
some of us had
100% canceled.
And probably for sure.
And probably gotten our asses kicked for some of the controversial things that have
been
said
I wouldn't
in the
be
house.
able to. Yeah,
I'm not gonna say anything about a specific song, but I remember a specific song being sung in the house that was very
inappropriate,
flamboyant. Should I say? It was a very flamboyant song. But yeah, so that was kind of like the beginning, Bradley. For like I said, for me, that's how I kind of first thought about the podcast. It's like, well, let's get together, and then that first episode, it really took off, and then once I started to get a good vibe, like a good feeling for Jose's personality and what he was bringing to the table, like to me, it was just that simple. Like by episode 2 or our technically first episode, like we were already having such a good time that I was already thinking about like, well, what are we gonna do in terms of like what is it called? Like, how there's always intro animations and specific things. So I was already starting to think, like, oh, what would we do for intro animations? What would we do for different things? And then we had running jokes, and then eventually we got so comfortable with each other. And I think we should still keep this rule in place because it's a very important rule, and it's the poop rule. Because we seem to talk about poop. And you might not believe it, Bradley.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is we talk about poop a lot.
Yeah, I like right before you said that, right on cue, I was gonna tell you guys like, hey, like, it looks like Juan's pooping right now.
Wait, what?
Because like whenever we used to FaceTime each other, this is the exact angle you had every time I called you.
Oh,
yeah. So that's all I thought. Richie.
So the poop rule became a thing, and then it became just a fun little mini game to see who could talk about shit, literal poop.
Wait,
during the podcast,
you talked about poop. You got slapped.
Yeah, yes. That's what it was.
100%.
Well, we could always have that at the end of the fucking podcast.
We'll just record a video where we all get together of how many slaps we owe each other.
So,
oh god,
put me down for 2.
So regardless, that was the beginning. So what's the difference now? What's the change? What made you guys push through it, or saying like, oh yeah, we want to do it again? When Juan brought it up, when he said that, oh, we're doing a podcast, and you guys want to opt in.
Yeah, I'm actually interested in that.
I'll let Jose go first.
Thrilled as soon as I got the call saying, hey, we're gonna do this again, because I had a lot of fun. The first go around.
A lot of frustration built up from school, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was just like, when I was in school, I was just like already like thinking about like half the shit I'd say. But like, it was just really, really, really fun, and I enjoyed those times. Like whether it be an hour or two, being like, whether it be in the apartment, in some random library, I don't even know where else we went. But that was really, really fun. I would leave like with a little bit of pee in my pants because I laughed a lot. I would laugh a lot. It was just fun, like really being able to show the world that how fast I could piss off my cousin Juan.
Oh,
And I don't know, in a
my
live
God.
setting, how
Good times.
fast I could. Yeah, it was really fast how I could do it, and I'm here to prove it once more.
I'm gonna echo what Jose said. Jose actually texted me last week, and he brought up the podcast, and I was like, "Yo, the gang's getting back together. We're getting the band back," and I was excited. and then Juan, I swear you couldn't have texted me at like a more perfect time because I've been streaming a lot lately, and I've been that's my hobby right now. And so I was looking for a way to kind of like diversify and to have like a bigger internet footprint. And I think this is like a really good way to do it, right? Because then this is a way that people really get to understand the person you are and see like your thought process and et cetera, et cetera. So it was like a double whammy because I was like, yo, the Dude Beer Show, it's back. We get to just have fun and shoot the shit for like 2-3 hours and just be assholes, and then I get to show people that like watch the stream. So I was excited. And then I know that Bradley had wanted to do it before. I know you guys had mentioned it. And so I was even more excited to have him in here because I'd love to see like how the dynamic is so different from each one of us. And so I think
Don't expect much change.
I think it'll be I think it'll be nice because last time we only had 3, and then most of the time, like sometimes we'd all be in agreement, sometimes we wouldn't be in agreement. You know what I mean? So it's nice now that we have a fourth person who can be like.
And I know for a goddamn fact we actually spite vote each other. It's a thing that we've done
That
a good
is not
amount of
true.
time. We spite vote all the fucking time.
No. I call it as I see it.
Ask Richie.
No.
Ask Richie.
Jose is the most notorious for the spite vote.
Yes.
I try
Yes,
to
he
be
is.
as biased as I can, like as unbiased as I can, but I have also spite voted.
Yes, exactly. And I know I've spite voted because Jose spite voted me.
Yeah.
Not true.
So it's like I said, when you guys hit me up, when Jose brought it up, like I said, and I was already excited, and then Juan just confirmed it. Hey, the podcast, we want to do it again. We want to get you guys back in. I was just over the moon, and I was like, hell yeah, just give me a date and time, and I'll be there. I was expecting all day yesterday that we are gonna do it, so I was ready. I was like, all right. When they give me the text of time, I would like shower real quick, and then I'm like bang a Red Bull real quick, and then we'll be good to go. But
yeah, I'm with Richie. I was prepared as fuck
excited
last night.
Yeah, I was excited as fuck. So I'm happy to be here now. More than excited to be here. I can't wait to get into some more bullshit with you guys. It's so fun, and it brings like the biggest smile to my face. I don't think I've stopped smiling this whole time that we've been recording. So that should just be a good indication of how much fun I have here. I just hope that you guys who watch and listen to the audio have as much fun as we do here doing this.
Yeah, and so in our point of view, like I'm gonna bring it into what what Juan and me were really talking about, and why the reason we kind of wanted to kindle up this podcast again. So basically, every time we talk, we normally talk every 2 weeks, every month, or something like that, whenever we can. Now it's a little bit more often because it's more. I want to say that it's gotten to a point in our lives where Juan's about to be done with school. He's having more time, and he is, basically having more time. Same thing with me. I'm transitioning out of the military. I'm gonna have more time. I'm getting retired and stuff like that. And honestly, I don't say this because like for brag purposes or whatever, but I'm getting a pension. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
that's one of the reasons why, like I said earlier, that most likely I'll be moving to Mexico for a small amount of time and all that stuff. But regardless, though, like doing this podcast doesn't matter where I'm at because we're doing it through the internet. One, because we're in a pandemic and we don't have the time and the money to be like traveling all over the place just for a podcast. And on top of that, it gives us that like another reason why we wanted to do this is to be able to communicate with one another since we've been so busy doing our own thing. We don't have that time or that luxury to hang out like we used to back in the day, or like how all of us used to do, like play video games, go play basketball, go to the park and do whatever, So it's another thing that helps us, like for me, de-stress. I know for Juan too, he gets a lot of stuff out of his chest. Especially as adults that we have adult problems and all that stuff. I want to say that there's a lot more of us in our generation that, yes, we're very tech savvy, but a lot of us don't put ourselves in a situation or in a place where we want to express ourselves like a podcast. You know what I mean? So it's
definitely.
I don't want to say that we're gonna talk about our problems on here and all that stuff, but it's just like, you know, it's some people deal with things differently, you know. So regardless though, like I do want to make this something that makes people relate to one another, you know, because like you guys said right now, like this room is full of very diverse people that think differently, people that do different things, and you know, I like for instance me, I have that structure because of the military, a little bit more serious and all that stuff. So and then Juan has that knowledge and stuff like that, and then Jose brings in that silliness, and you also bring in that what's it called
I don't bring nothing to the table.
Well, I mean, no, you bring a lot. You bring a lot, and it's just like, and that's the thing.
I bring the coffee. That's all I bring.
No, you know, I'll give you this. You have good narration.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Well, I'm the narrator, I guess. I bring that. All right, that's fine.
I bring the street cred with
honestly,
shut up.
You could do the intros and stuff like that, because like honestly, I can't do that. I can't do intros. I'm not a spokesperson, you know. And like the way you put me as a what's it called, as a producer, I see myself more as that. I see myself more as doing the background stuff, you know, the editing, the going out and shooting video and photos and all that stuff. So
that's fair.
It's good, and I feel like for me, I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel, you know, because I have all the equipment, literally. It's just that I don't know what I want to make my channel of, you know, and so that's the biggest struggle that I have.
Yeah,
and I feel like with this podcast, it's gonna help me, you know, figure that out eventually, or push me for it, you know.
So I think YouTube is a very special place. I haven't tapped into it the way some people have to make like a really good living. But the cool thing about the internet, and I'm not talking about just YouTube or just Twitch or just Twitter, I'm talking about the internet just broadly, is that you can reinvent yourself a million fucking times. The Bradley of yesterday is not the Bradley of today. So I think it's cool that you want to use this as like a jumping off point. I think this is perfect. You know what I mean? You gotta hang out. You gotta, like you said, get some of that stress off your chest and just have fun. And then, you know, maybe one day we talk about something and you're like, holy shit, that makes sense. I'm gonna make a YouTube about that. Or maybe one day you're like, hey, I really like my phone, so I'm gonna make a review about my phone, and then maybe that takes off. You know, so like I said, it's really special in the way that you can honestly just do anything you want. You can throw literally anything at the fucking wall, and if it sticks, fuck it.
But like at the same time, like there's so many choices that you can make. It's like it makes it harder to make that one choice or get started, right?
Definitely,
definitely overwhelming. 100% overwhelming. But you know, if you stick to something, which is like the oldest fucking piece of advice, like any old school person, if you just stick to something, you'll succeed. It's honestly that simple. Just fucking stick to it, see it through. That's something that I've learned in my life. Just don't half-ass it, dude. If you're gonna do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, just don't even bother.
So I mean, regardless about that, that's the main reason. Well, that's one of the reasons why podcast to me it made sense. It made sense. Plus the amount of time that me and Juan and I like talk on the phone, it's ridiculous. Like we go for hours. Like I think last time was like the longest that we've been is like 4 to 5 hours and on the phone, just talking about some random
serious
shit.
Stuff. Yeah, sometimes it's serious. Sometimes it's weird how those conversations come out like out of nothing, you know?
Yeah. So it's just like between the both of us, we were just like, you know what? We should just make a podcast. We talk about all this stuff, but like nobody's listening but us. You know, in a way, it would be cool. Like with YouTube, with the comment system, if people start watching, I mean, you know,
Definitely.
it's great to see feedback on the comments and all that stuff. And
100%.
and so yeah, just interact with people and all that stuff. So it's just like it was, we were just thinking at that time, we were just thinking, the both of us, but we were just talking about it for a couple of years, you know, just starting it and stuff like that. And recently, now in the situation that we're in, I was just like, well, fuck it, let's just start it now. So that's kind of like what pushed us, because
time.
like, yeah. And I saw online a video on how to start it, and everything is basically free. And the only thing that Juan needed was a microphone. So I was like, you know what? I just got paid. I got you. Boom. I bought a mic, and then
check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought, Bradley. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. So yeah, I got him the mic, and then what? A day or two later, we did our tester, and then what? A week later, we're here. You know, you know what I mean? So it's pretty insane how this escalated pretty quickly, mainly because we all wanted to bring this in together.
True.
Yeah, definitely. And I can definitely echo what you said as well, because when we first started, I remember that's not true. When I first started, I was making a lot of excuses to Juan why we couldn't start. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, I don't have that. We don't have this. We don't have that. We don't. But Juan, being the type of like amazing person he is, he's like, dude, fuck that. You got a phone? Does it record sound and video? Fucking do it. So
just do it like
that's
that.
exactly what we did. Is we recorded off my phone, and you know, one thing led to another. So I've had an iPhone for as long as I can remember now. You know what I mean? And at the time, I had a pretty decently powered iPhone, should I say? And it had a pretty good amount of memory in it. So you know, I was able to record at like 1080, 60, and all that, and so it could look nice. And so when we started recording, it was really fun. And then the next time that I actually got my phone, I got it because I wanted to record for the podcast, and so it was cool, bro. Like it was really fun, and I had such a great time. So so I can't believe that we're back. Like I really can't. I can't wait. I can't wait to have our stupid ass talks again. The one that like I can remember vividly is the Sex Robots. Sex Robots was a great episode. Love that episode.
My favorite's the very first one. Just how
really?
much you hit that really high octave when you're laughing, where like you could tell like it's hard for that person to breathe. I heard you do that, dude, and I was just like, this is perfect. This is perfect. Then the librarian coming like hovering over us. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss it so much. I really do. So I don't know what direction we plan to take it in, but whatever we do, however it goes, like if we still do current events or if we just shoot the shit and then whatever comes out of the conversation, I'm just happy to be included.
Speaking of, I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's been 3 different countries that have discovered aliens, and here's a question that like it makes you think like, okay, so they proved like, okay, yeah, we've noticed that there's aliens. Okay, who if you think about everybody in your life, who do you think would be, like you're just like, maybe that person is a fucking alien. who could you be like, who and why?
Who do I think's been masquerading as an alien and why?
Yes.
That's a good question. I'm gonna have to think about that because I don't have anyone in my family that acts like overly suspicious, or anyone that I know that's like weird as fuck. You know what? That's not true. You know what? That's not true.
I
that's not true. I have someone.
3 weird people came to mind. Weird people came to mind. It's like, which one's the weirdest though?
That's not true. So I'm gonna. This might be a little bit of venting, but so anyways, I don't really like my job right now, right? So it's like takes a lot of effort for me to wake up and go.
It's okay. I feel the same way.
That's besides the point. So I've been working with this new guy, and like,
what's his name and last name?
Oh, we're not gonna expose nobody out. We're not gonna expose anybody out.
What does he look like?
Show me a picture.
God damn it. He's a heavier set gentleman. He has
his Instagram handle.
God damn it. He's a heavier set dude. He has like a really shitty beard. Like, if you think mine's like pretty shitty, well, it's like worse than mine. So,
is it worse than Juan?
Then
Oh,
Juan's beard is actually nice. His is pretty full. So whatever. The jury's out on that one. I mean, his cheeks are a little light, but he's got like that good, nice, and like little.
So heavier set dude, shitty beard.
Well, obviously you're a fucking hater.
And I don't know if he has like eczema or if he has some shit going on. But anyways, so like I've been working with this guy for like the last 4 days, and the first day I was like, okay, cool, whatever, not a big deal. Like I don't know that I'll be stuck with him. Like on day 2, I was like, fuck this kid. I like for real, fuck this guy. And let me get into it why. So, like everyone knows that like nerds like are kind of mainstream right now, right? Nerd culture is very popular, and I'd make the argument that there's like a subdivision or like a tier list of nerds, and I think like all the way at the bottom of the list is like what I would consider a beta nerd, or if there's anything lower than beta, it'd be there. So anyways, he's like the nerd who wears like Nikes and the stonewashed Levi's with like the nasty mustard stains. That's him. He's a nice guy, and he's noticed that I've like gotten annoyed, so he's put like pep in his step. But dude, if he isn't like the nastiest dude, like he got really stinky, and like he smells like farts. And yeah, and this is like the one thing that like really grosses me out. I don't know what it is about it, because this has never grossed me out from anyone else ever before. But when I'm in the truck with him,
put it in your mouth.
That's poop talk. I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'm just saying that's poop talk.
No. He put it in his butt. He did not.
I'm just saying that's poop talk. But you know, whatever.
We'll take it to the council, bro.
So he's
Jose, don't fail me now with these spite votes. Is that poop talk? I need to know.
Yes.
Spite vote.
So this guy smells bad, basically.
Okay, yeah.
So he smells bad. But he's like always.
Hey, you can't just tell me he smells bad without describing the smell to me. Come on, get creative.
Okay. So, I had like the perfect description for it because it smelled just like it, but now I'm like struggling to find it. So you know how there's like different levels of stink to your farts? I'm not talking about like threat level 10, the silent but deadly. I'm talking about like maybe tier 3 or 4, where it's kind of loud, but it doesn't really stink too bad.
Okay. Also, he farts in front of
you. So that's poop talk right there.
I don't know. I mean, is it poop talk though? Because it's more like air that's passed that through your intestine and comes out of like
so
little orifice.
Day 1, this dude's farting in front of you in the truck.
I don't know, bro.
You don't know.
Like it feels like he's just putting his ass right to my mouth and just farting. That's what it feels like.
So okay, so
I'm
this point,
I'm gonna get to how it makes him like a fucking alien, because I don't think I haven't forgot about that. But so he's a little stinky, and to me this is what to me makes me think he's a fucking alien. So he has like this issue with scratching. Like he'll be just doing this shit, he'll be doing this shit, he'll be doing this shit. He does this shit where he goes like under his shirt and he's like scratching his boob, and then he scratches his other boob, and then he starts like, and normally like. I have my headphones in. I got my AirPods somewhere around here, but I usually have them in when I'm driving or when I'm not like doing any work. Dude, but I can hear him. I can fucking hear him like scratching. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like at first it wasn't that gross, but then after a while it started to get really fucking nasty. And on Friday, it really got to like a head. It peaked. It literally. All right, you see this little point right here? It peaked. It peaked. We were in the truck. He was scratching, and I noticed that, like. I don't know if you guys speak Spanish. I hope you guys speak Spanish. And I'll give you a crash course in Spanish right now. So in Spanish, there's a word called caspa. All right? And for all you non-Spanish people, that's called dandruff. And so when he, like, scratches himself, like, have you ever seen a lizard molt? Fucking, like, its skin just starts flying off? Yo, my guy, when he scratches himself, just, like, skin just, like, like, it just, like, he's scratching sacks and, like, and it fucking... it's gross. It makes me want to throw up. So, anyways, we were driving back to the yard, and he had been scratching up a storm, dude, scratching his body. he does this thing where he takes off his hat and then he scratches his head and then fucking dandruff falls off. But here's what happened: is he was doing some shit like this, and those like skin flakes, booger flakes, dandruff flakes, whatever was on his fucking mouth,
Go in your mouth.
hit the perfect like wind draft inside the truck, and it blew into my face, and I felt like it got in my mouth, and it was gross.
Wow,
It was fucking
dude, that's-
nasty, and so I threw my hat. I swear to God, it took everything in me to not like physically do the throwing up thing because I really wanted to, and the reason I think he's a fucking alien is I think he's a lizard man in disguise trying to hide inside of human skin. No one stinks that bad and sheds that much skin without being a fucking alien, and that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sounds like you're dealing with a reptilian.
Those sons of bitches.
It's not an alien,
So-
bro. It's just someone
so
that's.
So without
He's just a big ass lizard.
so without saying what company or anything like that you work for, so what do you do?
Bro, I'll tell you all of it right now. His name is Nick Ramirez.
Get the hell out of here. So what I do is I do traffic control. His name is
And I hope
Richard
you hear,
Ramirez.
motherfucker.
Richard Ramirez, you work at place. So anyways, I do traffic control for a living.
Okay.
For all of you guys that don't know what that is, I'm sure you guys have all been on the freeway at some point.
Let me put
I'm
it
not
in
sure
a
what
good
it's-
way for you. He's the
Let's see what
one
Joey
that
thinks
when there's
is.
an accident and tries to direct traffic, but makes it so much worse. Every
100%
fucking
accurate.
time. Yeah, why? Like
100% accurate.
they hit me up when they used to work that. It's like, hey, don't come over here. I'm working it. Like, stay away. There's traffic a lo pendejo. He was like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
okay.
true. I remember several times hitting up Jose, hey bro, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
I'm glad they get
Yeah.
paid for it, but there's they got to rethink their strategy.
So the easiest way I can explain this is, so on the street, when it's more than a one-way lane, both ways, we close down a single lane in either direction, whether it's east, west, south, north, whatever. And we either close the left lane or right lane. It just depends on whatever is needed that day.
Yeah.
And we use cones and we use flags, and it's basically road work. So we're outside all day, and I'm tired of that crap. I'm tired of being outside. I'm tired of dealing with the elements, but more than anything, I'm just kind of tired of dealing with like my management. So I've kind of reached a head where I'm like, I want to leave, and like I don't want to talk about this like too early, but like I kind of got like some renewed like vigor in me because there's a strong possibility that I might be moving to Texas before the end of this year.
Okay.
So like with that being said, I'm like, man, fuck this place. I'll write it out. I'll save my money, and then when I'm out, I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
So
And I mean, I don't blame you because honestly, that's one of my options. If I don't get the percentage that I want or that I should be getting, most likely I'll be moving back to Texas myself. One, because I have family there, and another one is because the border's right there, so I could be crossing whenever I can, and it's a lot cheaper. Honestly, it's a lot cheaper than California, Washington, and all that stuff.
definitely.
And I mean, I completely get you because I feel the same thing through the military because the military is not for everybody. I did my 7 years, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't blame you, bro.
But,
That's
yeah.
a big commitment, working for the military.
Yeah, you sign everything away, literally.
I believe it, And then sometimes I feel like they don't take care of, our vets, and it's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
unless we do something about it, nothing's gonna change. So do stuff about it. Wait, where's my camera? Do stuff about it, viewers who are listening or watching. It's in our hands to change our country, our democracy, and this podcast doesn't have to get political, but just know that
by
it is.
rallying you up and attacking the
You know
Well, you
what?
see, I was about to
We're
get
starting a new date. No, November 7th is the new date. We're all gonna attack the Capitol. Everyone go to the Capitol November
They're
7th.
ruining it. That was
don't
what I
say
wanted.
that.
You know,
Don't say that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. FBI agent who watches all of us and me specifically, don't pay attention. We're fucking around. I'm not. Don't go to the
Yeah.
Capitol on
FBI
November 7th. You'll
agent.
die.
It's funny because a couple of days, what was it? A day before the 6th or 2 days before the 6th, I went to the Capitol here in Washington. I went to Olympia, but I was there with my girlfriend and my friends and stuff. We go there, and I had my camera because I take pictures when I go out with my friends and family, and I was just taking pictures. So we go to the Capitol after we get some coffee, and I see a bunch of like reservists. I'm not gonna like. I mean, they're soldiers and all that stuff, but active duty always talks crap about the reservists because they're not the real army. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I've had like higher ups come to work with us, and they don't even know how to make fucking eggs, bro. Like, that's how bad it is. They don't know how to do their job. So, going back to it. I was out there, taking pictures, and we get to the Capitol, and then I start taking more pictures there. And then I see two people on the rooftop, but I don't pay no mind because I know they were scoping out, trying to see the tourists that were taking pictures there. And my friends and my girlfriend tell me, like, hey, man, like, I think you should stop taking pictures because they're pointing at you. And I just, like, pull down my camera, and I was just like, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck. First of all, they could calm down here and tell me to stop taking pictures. And second of all, if they tell me something, I'll just tell them, like, I'm in the military. I'm active duty. So if you want to talk to my command, I'll give you their numbers and deal with them because I'm just here taking pictures. First of all,
that's some big dick energy right there. That's really
BDE, if I've ever heard it.
Because to be honest, like, yeah, just because they have, the status or the rank or whatever, they could tell me, hey, stop taking pictures. Okay, I'll stop taking pictures. That's not what you like. But first of all, there's nothing right now saying in law that I can't take pictures of my Capitol. Right? So I understand the situation, and but me telling them, like, okay, well, that's fine, but it's not like I'm taking pictures for people to come and attack. First of all, like, I'm not taking pictures of anything of importance right now. You guys have everything fenced off. Like, security's up the ass, and what the fuck are pictures from the outside gonna do?
Yeah.
If I had a drone, that would be different. I would understand that, because I'm taking aerial shots. But no. But so regardless, though, like,
in this instance, did they think that you were the alien?
Yeah, I was wondering where this was leading.
No, like, for me, alien-wise, I've met so many weird people I don't even know anymore. I told Juan last time when he was here that there's this house that's literally encased, like, it's closed off to the public. Like, you're able to go in for a tour, but they charge you $10,000.
Jesus.
Right? What? So it's because the person that owns that place, they made a cult. They made a cult of because of the lizard people. Because they say the guy says that the lizard people live in Mount Rainier, the volcano that we have here. And no, that's fine. The volcano that we have here, and that apparently there's gonna be a day where, like, the volcano is gonna erupt and all the lizard people are gonna come out, like, storming the fucking cities and shit like that. I'm just like, oh my god, dude, really? So it's pretty. It's hard to say who's an alien and stuff like that. Personally, I could say that there's a family member that thinks that aliens are after him, or the government is after him. Not aliens, sorry, the government. Because they say that the government has satellites that purposely are aimed at him to make him feel ill. You know what I mean? So we were playing basketball one time, and he started saying, like, he started getting his ass beat, basically. And they started complaining that his knees hurt, and that because the satellites are shooting lasers at his knees. So that's why
the only reason why Jose is ever being basketball. And then,
the lasers were shooting his knees. Confirmed. Confirmed the lasers.
No.
The aliens should have fucking blown up the basketball court. So this man that never touches one again.
Okay, go on, Brad.
So it was, I don't know, between my uncle and I, we were just laughing. But at the same time, we saw this guy, and he was like super fucking serious about it. Like, Like, yeah, like I feel bad, and when I put fucking aluminum foil on my head and all over my body, or where they're shooting the lasers, if I put aluminum foil on there, it'll feel better. And I'm just like, okay, like whatever, dude. Like that's not real, but all right. But I mean, it's whatever he believes. But I mean, maybe he's an alien and they're shooting lasers at him because he's an alien. I don't know.
I believe it.
Definitely a possibility.
They're trying to keep him down. They don't want the alien uprising to ever happen in the world, or on Earth, should I say? But that's insane. It does. Wow, I can't believe I just lost my train of thought. Never mind. Go ahead.
Jose, who do you think, bro?
Bro, man, I've met so many fucking weird people. It's just normal now. It's like no one's an alien. They're just everyone's just weird in their own specific way. But
there's not been one person that really stood out to you.
No, not really. I mean, I feel like when we were on our little ventures and we were younger, go out and like hang out. How many fucking weird people did we run into?
There was the Jesus freak. There was also
that one bum that took my money and threw it at a bus.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too.
That was pretty badass. That doesn't make him an alien. That just makes him a badass for life.
No,
but he like, sat there and waited for the bus after he threw the change at it.
I'm not surprised.
That's what makes him a badass. He had his target. He knew who he was trying to throw that change at.
So yeah, I'm not surprised. No one's an alien. We're all just weird. Aliens do exist, but they're not amongst us yet.
I actually have. I just remembered what I was gonna add on to Bradley's statement. So I was actually the one cool thing I like about my job is that I get to go everywhere in Southern California, which is cool. So one day I was working in Norco, California, and we were just doing some regular maintenance. I work with Edison, and they put up poles and do shit. If you guys don't know what electrical companies do, I'm sure a quick Google search will get you informed. So anyways, I was working with them, and this lady came outside. Hey, what are you guys doing? I'm like, well, I'm just standing around watching them work. No, like, what are they doing? I was like, oh, well, they're just installing some new equipment, trying to upgrade stuff. Oh, okay. What is it, though? I was like, it's power lines, like electricity. Just, upgrading your equipment so you guys, last longer and it's better. And then, so she got to, like, saying, okay, that's fine. As long as it's not that 5G shit. If you guys are installing that shit, I'm gonna fight you. She got really, really aggressive at the thought of 5G. And so it just, like Bradley was saying about the satellites, I think it's hilarious because there is, I shit you not, there is a group of people, a very, very tight-knit group of people who are like anti-5G. 5G gives you cancer, it makes you sterile, it liquefies your brain inside your skull. The negative effects of 5G for these people is literally endless. And so I just wanted to add that, and I just thought it was funny, interesting at least, if nothing else. But
I don't know. I just think it's sad. You know aliens.
Why is that, bro?
I just think it's sad that it's because they're not informed. They don't take the time of day to fucking learn about certain things.
True.
I think it's stubbornness.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It's the fact that they don't know anything about it, so there's ignorance, and then plus there's always fearmongers. There's fearmongers that also be like, they're like it'll do all those things. It'll make you sterile, make you retarded. It'll do everything. Like, but the thing is that since you're like primed up to be like any situation that comes your way, and you should be wary of it. And then you sit there with that ignorance and not knowing whether or not someone who tells you that like has any authority on it. You're just like, and if you never look anything up, it starts growing and growing and growing. And you're like, yeah, you're gonna get mad and you're scared.
Definitely, yeah, for sure. I was a little hesitant to bring this up right now because I kind of wanted to save this for next episode, but maybe this might be the good topic for this episode. Is I think something that's very real right now, like today, is doom scrolling. Do you guys know what doom scrolling is?
No.
Yes, maybe?
I haven't heard about it.
Okay. So I'll do a quick Google search of doom scrolling.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm about to Google this real quick.
So
Yeah.
in a nutshell, doom
let's
scrolling
just make this the last topic because we're already at 50 minutes.
All right.
Okay. All right. So ready? Here's Google's definition of doom scrolling. Doom scrolling, also known as doom surfing, is the act of consuming a large quantity of negative online news at once. Mental health experts have stated that the practice can be detrimental to mental health. So the reason I bring this up is because I definitely think doom scrolling has something to do with these people. I think that they get really hopped up into their rabbit holes of like just wrong information, and that in combination with, I mean, it was before COVID. It was right around the time that COVID was starting. That in combination with like a pandemic, can really like skew the information that you get. And I'm not gonna lie, I've personally felt the effects of doom scrolling. Like sometimes I'm on Twitter and I'm just like, dang, man, fuck Twitter, and I get off. But it's because there's so much like negative shit, especially with the rioting that's been happening or the coup that happened at the Capitol. Like there's a lot of shit that happens or
the mutations on the virus.
Yes, definitely. The COVID is like one of the big things, and so it's intense when you start to feel like a little bummed out. You're like, dang, why the fuck do I feel bad? Or maybe not even like that. Maybe you just feel overwhelmed. And because I know I felt a few times overwhelmed. It's like, man, I don't need to deal with the internet right now. It's just not worth it. But then it kind of sucks because then you feel out of the loop. So you're kind of stuck in like this perpetual motion of like, I don't want to doom scroll, but I need my information, but I don't want to doom scroll. You know what I mean? So,
and how it works is like those algorithms like get onto the stuff that you seem interested in. So if it's negative stuff, you're gonna keep going down those rabbit holes.
Definitely. So, like I said, doom scrolling I think is a real, very real like issue right now. Well, maybe not an issue, but it's definitely a good like topic to talk about.
You were gonna say something, Brian?
Oh no, it's because it was freezing a little bit. But basically, I feel it's an issue because a lot of people don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to deal with it, and they don't know how to control it in a way. Because technically, algorithms put all that shit into your feed and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's up to you if you want to see it or not. And on top of that, that's up to you if you want to research it or not. For instance, anybody around our age knows basic science because of school, right? We know about mutation, we know about bacteria, we know about viruses and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And we know that it's common sense that over time a virus is going to mutate, especially when the infection is this big. And even without that, let's bring up a little bit of the politics. The reason why they want to make social media into a media stream, that they want to basically not control it, but classify them as media, because that's where they're getting their information nowadays. Honestly, a good example, a couple like last year, I think in the beginning of last year, when Trump did the attack on Iran, I think, with the missiles. You guys remember that? So that day that it happened, my phone was blowing the fuck up, not because of work, but because of my family members and stuff like that, and friends saying like, "Hey man, what's going on? Are you guys gonna go to work?" And I was like, "Whoa, bro, I just fucking woke up, dude. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on." So, and I told him like,
as he loads up his AK,
and I told him like, I like, first of all, like, I would have heard about this a long time ago. And second of all, if we were going to go to war, I wouldn't be on vacation right now. Like, straight up. So, the first thing I do once I see the text was go onto Twitter. And I just type on the search bar, like, bomb. And next thing I know, I see the news, like, everything that happened. And that's how I knew about it. And I actually called a sergeant from work, and I asked him about it, and they were like, "Oh shit, that's the first time I hear about it." You know, like it's it wasn't such a big of a deal for us to the point where like oh yeah, like we gotta notify everybody. But that's what I mean. Like what the action that I did was go onto social media to get this information. So if people don't know how to use their resources, they're gonna end up using them in the wrong way, which is getting that negative feed, and that's how they're gonna end up getting depressed or getting anxious or starting doing all that stuff. Just like that's the main reason why President Trump got blocked or got deleted off social media, because he was just posting things that aggravated his supporters and did what they did.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I mean, I don't know. My suggestion is fucking inform yourself and, you know, do the fucking research, because not everything is what... If the president says one thing, it doesn't mean that it's true. Yes, he's our leader, but it is just, you know, I've traveled a good decent amount to the point where every country has a different story of what happened in certain things, you know? So it's kind of like
everyone's trying to control the information.
Exactly.
As it trickles down to you, because they get to sprinkle on their little twist or their little agenda onto it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And finding someone who is objective about that stuff ain't ever gonna work, because there's always personal interest.
Yeah.
In the company or in the politics.
Yeah, and I feel like that's why I never liked history in school. I didn't like history because I felt like it was just muffled. It was just whatever they wanted to teach you. It was just U.S. history. It wasn't like world history. And even if it was world history, it was only what they wanted you to hear. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. One of the longest wars was the Korean War, which is 50 years. It just ended like 2 years ago. Jesus. Like literally a 50-year war. So it's just like, how come I didn't learn that in school? You know, how come I didn't learn about plantations in South America that has some stuff to do with the United States? So it's things like that. But that's a whole different topic for a whole different another podcast. Yeah.
Well, I think I got like two things to add to this. One is going back to what you said about your information. So I think I'll quote Juan from one of the conversations that we had. I think a person is smart. I think people are dumb. And I actually very much agree with that sentiment. I think that you as a person have the right or have the ability to gather as much information from very much like different sources to see what sounds right or what could be right. And I think that if you want to be well informed, you don't make any snap judgments about anything, right? Like you kind of try and measure the field and see what the general consensus or what are the key points that are being spread in all the stories versus, you know, like this might say something like this might say something like this, and so that'll echo, you know, harken back to what Juan had said about agendas and politics and people want to do different things. So I definitely agree with Bradley on that. And then Juan, I had another thing I wanted to say, and I am forgetting it right now because I didn't write it down. And damn, ADD sucks sometimes. So if I remember it, I'll bring it back up. I'm sorry.
Go.
Yeah,
bro,
the first part
for me, like
good.
if anybody stops my idea while it's barely coming out of my head, it's completely gone. And you could ask Brandon, like there's so many like sentences that like if I stop in the middle, it's completely fucking gone.
Yeah. It's I was like, oh, I gotta get it out. I gotta get it out. I was
exactly.
But, so people are dumb, and so that's you're saying about that, and then Juan, I don't know. Yeah, it's gone. It's fleeting. It's left. So
is Jose even in the call anymore?
I don't know. Yeah. I was just thinking about it.
He's being hella quiet.
I'm listening.
Usually he says some crazy ass shenanigans things.
Yeah.
You're typically the guy who does the things that make us laugh.
I was listening. No, I was just listening.
But all right, I think I think we should stop it here. Then I think this would be our first episode then, right?
All right.
Yeah.
So the return of the Dubious Show 2.0.
We'll have good stuff coming up.
All right, then.
Less poop jokes, more good jokes.
God damn it.
So thank you guys for listening and watching. Hope to see you in the next episode. And
have a good one.
All right, have a good one.
Actually, I think I have a little bit to add before we sign off. If you guys have anything you'd like us to talk about, or anything that you think you would find interesting to hear about from our opinions, definitely leave it in the comment section below. I'm not gonna be like and subscribe, because if you enjoy this, then you'll do it on your own. But if you do what you gotta do.